And we're back. Bum, 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 bum. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Right all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound
dog. Crying on down.
Well.
Yeah.
That was nice.
There's a lot of practicing that.
This is Shaba Presley.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome.
We are just two average, and holy shit, do I mean average girls taking their phone calls to the podcast.
You're welcome.
What were you just doing just now?
Smelling myself. We smell good.
I don't smell good.
So then it's me.
I can smell my deodorant is in full gear.
I smell good. I smell
well
really
first
good.
I mean, of course we had storage issues because of course I recorded our last two biggest podcasts ever size wise in 4K HD. Basically took up all the space I had, so got rid of those, or didn't get rid of those, converted those. Now we have space. But in the interim of that, our whole podcast got interrupted. Maybe this was a blessing, because maybe this episode that we were going to talk about isn't going to get posted. And honestly, I felt like you were throwing shade at me the whole time. So
no, buddy, honest to God,
I felt
HTG.
I felt like, well, you know what? It's something that we didn't see,
Oh, okay.
So this is a blessing. So needless to say, fresh slate. Now I've got more space. And, Shaba, she's very bored with the podcast these days. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have her as a co-host.
Dude, I was looking at our topics, actually, buddy, because I had already forgotten what we were going to talk about.
Oh.
See, I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
She's innocent.
I'm innocent until proven guilty.
She's locked up. Won't let me out.
You won't let me out.
I'm locked up.
Free Shaba. Free Shaba.
We should make free Shaba t-shirts. Yeah. And what are we freeing Shaba from? You know what we're freeing Shaba from? The fact that
these
she
chains
is tied down by corporate greed.
No, not anymore.
No,
praise Jesus.
Praising Jesus.
Hallelujah.
On those knees.
Yeah. No more corporate. Yeah, I'm free.
It was the summer of 23.
I know. Everybody keeps asking what happened summer of 23. Just not ready yet, guys. It's summer of 23 was a wild one. But we won't talk about that. So
blah blah.
Move on. Yeah, moving on until you folks are ready, and we think it's just not ready yet. I think we should do summer of 23 for like a special event of some sort. Like maybe an anniversary, or like, I don't know.
Like maybe in the summer of 25, and 2 years later, where is Shaba now? You want to do that? Where is Shaba now? I could take all the videos that I have from the summer of 23. Here's Shaba then. Here's Shaba now. The only thing is, I don't have a lot of photos of when you gave yourself the said haircut, like in that time period. Do I, Shaba? Do I have a lot of photos of you?
No, because I think that I intentionally did not share a lot of stuff, and we intentionally didn't take a lot of photos because it was that bad.
Wait a second. When we did that first dance, Paint the Town Red, in front of Cumberland Farms. Was that after the haircut? Yeah.
It must have been, because I remember that's when I started. I mean, at the time, I was wearing a lot of hats because I didn't want to be wearing the wigs all the time.
Okay, now I know.
It was so bad. It was so bad. All because I saw a hairstyle I liked and didn't want to go to the hairdresser to get it done. So I YouTubed it. It was like the Pinterest fails, except this
Oh,
was a
it
YouTube
was
fail.
like
It was a
it was like a
YouTube fail.
SpongeBob cake that a mom did because she thought she could on a DIY and failed
Horrible.
miserably.
Horrible. Let me tell you, I think hairdressing and barbering, if that's a word, I think that is an art in itself.
It
It is
truly,
an art form. You don't just wake up one day and like know how to paint a masterpiece. Like these people, it's a
yes,
craft that they
correct.
have to study and practice and things like that. And I don't know what I was thinking, but at the time I thought I could just watch a YouTube video and just do it myself.
Right.
But yeah, summer of 23, that was a wild one.
That was a wild one.
That was like a
That was a
wild
wild one.
one. That was a wild one. Okay, so.
Did you notice a funky smell in here earlier?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So it was definitely you that dealt it. All right.
What did they say? If you smelt it, you dealt it. So it was a you, buddy. You know
Oh
what I'm smelling?
shit!
You know what I'm smelling? Actually, honest to God, love spell.
Is it you?
It's love spell. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's love spell. You know why? Because remember how we were talking about the semi-annual sale that I had went to with the girls on
Yeah.
one episode? Well, I kind of it brought me back to like my high school days because I didn't even know love spell still
Oh my god, she's
existed.
gonna wear cucumber melon this year.
Well, love spell. I like didn't even I just kind of brought me back to those days and I always loved that scent. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Even if it was like popular 20 years ago, I still like it.
Oh, if it
Well,
smells good, it smells good.
but remember I was telling you that I had gotten like body sprays aren't my thing. I like perfume, like a light perfume. But there was Sol de Janeiro. I wanted to get that because I
Oh,
love how it smells on one of
yeah,
my
very
daughters.
good sense.
Yeah, so I ended up getting like a different one so I didn't have the same one that they had the girls wear and stuff like that. And it didn't stay for me. So I ended up giving it to Nessa. And then I was looking in my armoire of like where I keep all of our body stuff and everything. And I was like, ooh, I totally forgot about that. And then I stopped at Millie, and the owner of Millie says to me, actually, a couple days ago, she was like, Shayna, whatever you're wearing smells amazing. And I didn't even think of it at the time. I'm like, I think it's just my body wash. And she was like, it smells fantastic. I go to work, bro, and I'm like,
You're
oh
like,
my
oh, now it
God,
hit me.
I'm
It
such a
was the love
jerk.
spell.
It was the love spell.
Shaba,
I
what
didn't
she's
I didn't
doing
realize
here,
that.
I know what you're
I
doing.
didn't realize that.
Love spell is activating her pheromones. So if you wear that Shaba, you're gonna turn on people everywhere around you
Oh God, see, I don't need that.
with love spell.
Maybe I should stop wearing it
No,
then.
wear
I
it.
don't need that, bro. Like the pheromone commercials and things like that. You ever see
How
those?
funny, should we try it? How
Dude,
funny would that be?
I
Should
want to
we?
get it one day and just
Just
go
for
to like.
Haas. You wear it.
I,
We'll load you up,
okay, then
girl.
let's go to like. We got to pick a good spot. Let's go to Home Depot or something.
Wait a second. I have a serious
Bro, we're not
question.
going to VIP with the pheromone spray.
We might get it there.
That's what you were thinking.
Do they have it there?
I don't know, bro.
Of course they do.
Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, instead of having to buy it and then wait for it.
Oh, okay. I want to try and see if that actually works.
Okay. You guys, oh my God, this is so great. Do you think that we should? Oh my God.
Do you guys think we should test this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I want to put Shaba in like a lot of public places and like douse her in pheromone spray. And I just want to see if like people are like, oh, like, they're like,
You ever see the ads though, and you're like, oh my
smell?
God, the ads are so fake. But there's so many different ones
I
that
haven't
I'm
seen
like,
ads for it.
I have. I see them on it's either TikTok or the Facebook Reels.
Dude, can we just talk about the difference of the FYP on TikTok versus the Facebook Reels that are suggested to me?
Yeah.
Some of the shit that is suggested to me is whack, is crazy.
Yeah, isn't it supposed to be
like stuff that you like based on
yeah, but the pheromone thing, where did those come from? I don't go looking for that
I get
stuff.
some crazy ass
Yeah,
shit.
I'm
I get like pedicures of like the dirtiest feet on my my Facebook
I've
Reels.
gotten a couple of those.
I get that. I get weird
and we know I don't like feet
and pimples that are huge and abscesses and
yes.
That's what my Facebook feed is. Like
I've gotten a couple of those also.
And I typically don't like watch like the nails I don't really watch that, and I don't watch the Pimple Pop sometimes, I guess.
I do watch the Pimple Pop stuff. I
Yeah.
do.
I like
I know it's gross, but I am intrigued by some of this stuff.
I like the sound of the chiropractors, so I watch a lot of that when they're doing adjustments on people's necks, the
Yeah.
cracking.
ASMR, right?
Yeah, there's this one chick right now I'm watching for ASMR, and she's eating like these wax candies, and I'm just here for it, and I'm here for that fucking keyboard. Also, not for nothing, but I just recently got my nails done. Went to a place that I won't mention the name because I don't want to hurt them, but like they didn't take even any time. So like my nails already need to be done because she didn't cut back the cuticles. Like she didn't give two shits. Like it was on the cheaper side anyway, so I should have known. But like, yeah, not happy about that. But anyways, it's hard to type.
I do think they look nice though.
I do too, and I love the almond cut. I really
Yeah,
do.
I
I'm
only
here
do
for it.
almond also. I think
It's
they
hard
look
to type
really
though,
nice.
Shaba.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just me. And I have a gnarly, like my middle finger here. I notice it goes this way, kind of like your,
Second toe.
yeah. Shaba has a second
I was thinking
toe.
about that.
Shaba has a second toe, and
It don't do all that, bro.
it
It's
looked like this,
it's like
bro. It's
it's like this.
gnarly. No, I'm just joking.
It's
Shaba
like
does.
this. It's not like this, but it's like
You know why, Shaba? Do you know why? I'm just making sure that everything's recording because God forbid. Let me get my salsa.
Get your salsa. Yeah, gnarly feet. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. I wonder why it does that. It's like just the top of. It's like just the top of it is like.
Probably because when you were young. No, my mom always told me, she's like, Kate, when I was younger, don't wear your socks too tight where your toes are because your toenails will curl. And my toenails have curled before because I wear my socks too tight.
All I remember is something about crooked feet. So I had to go to the doctors to have them correct it, and then I had to wear like the right foot on the left foot, and then the left foot on the right foot for my shoes. I remember hearing that. Random facts about Kate and Shaba this morning. Okay, so
it almost sounds that this totally makes sense. You are Forresta Gump. Remember Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
He was a runner. You were a runner in high school.
She a runner. She a track star.
You were a track star. And then
I wouldn't say a track star.
You had to get your feet corrected just like Forrest did.
I know. Because life's like a box of chocolates and you never know which one you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get.
You know, she a runner. She a track star. I wasn't a track star, but I did enjoy running though. Yeah. Okay. That was a nice little introduction.
Do you know Spanish?
No. It'd be cool though. Okay. Today's topic.
What is it, sister?
I got you, boo boo. Surrounding yourself with people of high value. Surrounding yourself with people of high value. That is today's morning topic. That's a very soothing voice, huh?
If we talked like this, a lot of people would like to maybe listen to us at nighttime.
Yeah.
As you're going to bed.
Like pillow talk.
And you think.
No, what are you going to say?
And we want you to think tonight about people of value and surrounding yourself with people of value and the importance of that.
Yes. No, but seriously, I think that is so. I know with our topics, right? A lot of these are based off of conversations that we've had, whether it be with each other, and then we say, no, let's save it for the podcast because we're like, ooh, this would be a great topic, or experiences that we've gone through, conversations we've had with other people. So that was one of the ones that we've had on here, and I think that is a very important topic to discuss. Should we start? Surrounding yourself.
Have we? I mean, haven't we been here for some time?
Bro, don't do it. don't be doing that, bro. Don't be doing that.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. This girl over here thinks she's Slick Rick over here.
I'm the new
She's
Slick
got she's
Rick.
got she's got her phone right here in the thing, and I had to just fuck with her.
Surrounding yourself with people of high value. Well, you know how like growing up, you're always told that show me who your friends are and I will show you who you are. I do think that
I hope people don't hold you against me.
I can't even with you. I think that there is some truth to that. I do think that there is, to an extent, I do think that there is some truth to that. I think the reason why I think that there is some truth to that, right, is because I feel that the people that you surround yourself with may or may not have influence on you, if not intentionally. If you're around them for a certain period of time or whatever the case is, there are things that may or may not rub off on you, whether they're good or bad, right? So I do think that there is truth in that. If you are somebody who is a leader and not a follower, then that's a little bit different. But I think there comes a point in a time in your life where you need to surround yourself with people of high value because um we're not kids anymore, and you and I, we know plenty of people, and it's not, we're not thinking of anybody in particular, but I remember we've had this conversation a few times where you have some people that are still stuck in their old ways, a little stunted, I guess. I mean, as an aggressive way of saying it, but it's true. They're a little stunted because they're set in their old ways, which is why there's no room for growth, right? So when we surround ourselves with people of high value, meaning people that carry themselves well, right? Have strong moral values, have a lot of integrity, you know, are driven, are focused. Those are the people that you need to surround yourself with, because at the same time, then you are going to grow for that, grow in that direction. You're going to grow from that, right? Because these people are going to, in a way, either rub off on you or inspire you to want to be like that. Not like the person necessarily, but if there's something that you want to work on or something that you strive to be, you need to surround yourself of people of high value. And when I say high value, I don't mean a dollar amount. I don't mean based off of what somebody can do for you. That's not what relationships are about, what people can do for you. But relationships, friendships, whatever, you should surround yourself with people of high value. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that are, again, stunted. They're stuck in said ways, and that's why there will never be any growth, you know.
I don't think some people want to grow. I
Mm.
think some people get incredibly comfortable in the situation they're at because
Yeah.
growth is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Growth means change, both whatever it could be, personally, professionally. I think I'll take myself as an example. For me these days to go out to eat or meet somebody for a drink or whatever, anything to that, there's got to be a good reason. It's got to be a,
Yeah,
you want to talk, maybe you want to talk about marketing, or B, you want to talk about the podcast, or,
for sure.
there's a new potential business venture or something like that. I- any of that stuff I like to entertain.
Well, time's valuable,
Time's valuable.
Yeah.
If you asked me 10 years ago, 15, I could have entertained a lot of different conversations
Facts.
because I didn't value my time, or at that time I was fulfilling what I needed at that moment.
Right.
But as you grow, I will, an example, and I think I've said it before, there are people that I may have gone out to dinner with or hung around with 10 years ago or something, and how now it's not as easy to do that. And it's just simply because I have changed as a person.
Mm.
The same things that we connected with and bonded with at that moment, I no longer bond with that because I'm different. I've
Right,
changed.
right, right, right.
The focal point, the nucleus of the conversations is different for me these days.
Mm.
And my thing is like, if we're going to entertain a conversation, if we're going to do this, if I didn't see value in this, I wouldn't be doing this. If I didn't see what we are creating here, I wouldn't be doing this,
For sure.
because I just don't waste my time anymore.
Right, 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 right.
um And you're right when it comes to like talking or hanging out with people, being I want to hang out with people that I don't feel like I have to defend my principles, my morals, my ethics with. I want to be with
Amen.
people
Amen.
that
Yep.
just understand me and get me. That's where I'm at my
Yeah,
most comfortable.
for
If
sure.
you want me at my most vulnerable, you're somebody that I've known for a long time. You're an OG in my life, and you're
Mm,
somebody that,
right.
and you all know who you are. That's it.
For sure.
Um,
For sure. I love that. Now, I guess another question then, or not another question, but I have a question around this topic. Do you think that sometimes people have a hard time seeing the fact that somebody has changed as them growing and not necessarily like it being a negative that the person changed? Do you feel like?
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
There's a huge issue here. This isn't talked about enough.
I think
Is
so.
just honoring the fact that people are changing, they are growing, they are developing. There's a
Right.
lot of people that I just don't see or talk to anymore. I mean them absolutely no ill
Yeah.
will
No, for sure.
whatsoever.
For sure. For
It's
sure.
just that with what limited time you have,
Yeah.
you're gonna do whatever you're gonna prioritize whatever matters to you at that moment.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Um,
But yeah, I think that you bring up a wicked good point there. I think people can get offended by it, or
mm,
people don't always understand why.
right.
We talk about getting together, maybe we don't. And again, I'm not saying anything specific,
No, of course not.
but you have to acknowledge it. I have friends back, that, from grade school or whatever, and I love them to death, because if you've been in my life at any given point and you've been on this journey with me, I am going to have so much love for you.
Mm,
But the fact that we don't hang out now or talk or update each other on our day-to-day life, it doesn't make me feel anything less towards them.
right.
It's just that their journey is different right now.
For sure.
We were there for each other when we needed each other, and God put us together. I feel that, my soul.
Yeah.
But now it's like they're doing their thing. They're on a mission, right? We're here.
Right.
They're doing their thing. And I'm doing my thing. There's pressure around that we as society put together. You see a lot of people like, oh, it's so great to have friends since first grade. Not everybody has that,
Mm,
you know. And I think that's something that's emphasized a lot. But also, it's okay if your circles change a lot in your life,
right.
similar to this.
Right. That's deep. That's deep. That's
And,
true.
you know,
Yeah.
and so if I'm spending any extracurricular activity or time, it's either going to be for a passion project, and I know you feel the same way, or
A thousand percent.
it's going to be something that I'm going to learn something from, or you know what I mean,
Yeah.
somebody smarter than me, I have an opportunity to pick their brain,
Right.
or you know what I mean, I
For
need
sure.
something, or whatever it is.
For sure. For sure. I, you know,
How do
I,
you feel?
oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think you hit on some really, really deep points. I know I've talked to my brother a few times about this too, because, we're not much different age wise. We're less than 2 years apart, him and I. So we end up going through a lot of different life changes and things around the same it's the craziest thing, like around the same time. I'm like, I swear we were supposed to be twins. I really feel like my brother and I were supposed to, but um a lot of the times the same situation comes up where you might have people that either you grew up with or like you were really close with, and they, always around, always having a conversation with, and it's not the same, and it's not because you think any less of said individuals, but you have changed as a person. You've grown in one direction, they are going in another. I
Facts, Shaba,
Right. And
facts.
it's not
It's
necessarily,
no ill
it's no
will.
ill will, but it's
No
not,
ill
yeah,
will.
there's no ill will. I mean, like I said, my brother and I have talked about this too. There's no ill will. It's just there comes a point in your life where you accept that not everybody's going into the next stage of life with you or next season or anything like that, but you wish them all the best, you wish them well, and then that's it. There's nothing negative. I think that on the flip side though, you have some people that are almost very they stuck in the past in a way, right? They're very stuck in the past, like, oh, things used to be, or we used to be, or you used to
It's
be.
such an unforward
Yeah.
thinking mentality.
Yeah.
You're not going back. That
Yeah.
was the
You're
past.
not the
What are you
same.
doing? What seeds are we planting now
Yeah.
for the future?
Yeah, and then it's weird because it's like, it's almost like sometimes people almost think that, and again, this isn't anything, like, I can't think of any
For
particular
sure.
person. It's
No,
just
for sure.
conversations with you, conversations with my brother,
Of course.
conversations
Of
with whoever.
course.
I hear a lot of the time that some people almost feel like it's like you come across, not you, just the scenario,
Generic.
generic, you come across like you're better than, or you're too good for. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what? That is so weird. But then you have me, who is like, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? And it's not even like, it's not even to be negative. I think, and I can only speak to myself. I tend to not be a very reactionary person in general. And I know that that
Facts.
comes across to some people like there is lack of care in that. I also, as I'm getting older, am a lot more direct, a lot more intentional, a lot more blunt about things. Um, can that be worked on? Absolutely. But I am very black or white. There is not a gray. Like, you know what I mean? It's very like matter of fact, this is how things are. This is how I see them. You know what? That's just how I myself see things. So when I am having a conversation with somebody, or somebody asks for my opinion, I will give that, you know what I mean, based off of my feelings of a certain situation, especially when it comes to surrounding yourself with people of high value. I feel like the conversations are different. You are able to have those conversations because the mindset is very similar, in the sense where people of high value are focused on growth, goals, and what the game plan is, whether it's in life, whether it's in their career, whether it's for their family. That is what they are laser focused on. Everything else on the outside is just that, it's on the outside. Um, you know what I mean?
I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. There are groups in my life where I need to be with people who are visionaries.
Mm,
I want to be with people because that's where I'm at now. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to go as far as I can. I want to do as much as I can, knock things off, grow myself internally. This is all for me.
right.
Me versus me.
Right.
Um right?
Go to twotalkingfools.com.
Me
Me
versus
versus me
me,
merch.
baby. But at the same time, I also have those groups of people who anchor me. For example, the Pentagon,
Oh,
a
for
girl
sure.
group,
For
you know,
sure.
because
For
as
sure.
much as like, we can use a podcast as an example, we're pushing, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's great. But you don't forget who anchors you, because this is only one part of the program, right?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, we could be doing this, we can be as big as we are, and I still get anchored by our friend group, by the Pentagon, by my softball team, by
Same.
people that
Yep,
I've known for a long time.
for sure.
Without people like that in your life, it can oftentimes feel like you're floating. So you have to have those anchors.
You have to.
You have to have those anchors, but you
Valid.
also, I think, as a human, are doing yourself injustice by hanging around people who just do this around the drain all day long. Talk about others, talk about the old days, things
Yes.
about that. When we
Yes.
talk about people who anchor you,
Yeah.
I can give you an example like my softball team. We can reminisce about the days of high school and this and that, and we do that a lot, and it's so much fun, and all
Of
the things we
course.
used to do. But at the same time, once we're still growing as individuals, so
Of course.
that's stuff
Always.
we talk about and reminisce, because that's a beautiful thing to do.
Mm,
But meanwhile, these girls are doing their thing, and
for sure.
we root hard for one another.
For sure.
Same with our girl group. So um I can tell you, don't put me in a situation where my time is wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And my time is wasted if you want to come to me and talk about other people.
I can't.
You are
Oh my
wasting my
goodness.
fucking time. I
Yes.
do not waste my time talking about others.
Yeah. Yep.
And to me, it it's okay. I'm human. We're human. So if there's like big fucking news, I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, we don't hear it. We don't have our
For sure.
thoughts.
For sure.
But the people who are chronically talking about
Other
others,
people.
I don't have it in my heart to do it
For
anyway.
sure. For sure.
Either I like you, maybe we don't work out,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I don't wish you
Or you wish
harm.
them the best. Yeah, you
But
wish
how
them the
long can we
best.
talk? How long can we talk about somebody? I can't do that.
Well, I also think the other part of that is when when people are talking about others, right? You're talking about somebody else. You're taking focus off of yourself, and in a way, to me, it's a waste of time. Unless you are talking about another person, meaning like you're rooting for them, or you're acknowledging something that is positive, or you're looking at a way to help somebody in whatever situation it may be. If you're just talking about somebody to gossip or talk about them, that is a waste of time. It's low vibration. Okay.
Super low
It's
vibration.
low
I'm glad you
vibration.
said that.
Yeah.
It does
it
nothing for the
does
energy
it does
level.
nothing for the
Nothing.
energy level. And guess what? You're still where you were before you started talking about that person. So not only have you wasted time, it's a low vibrational
Facts.
energy.
Facts. 100%.
Okay. And you haven't focused on growth or nothing else. So then what did you accomplish by talking about this other person? People, it's interesting. There's a lot of people I don't jive with. There's a lot of people I don't fuck around with. A lot of people I don't fuck around with. Nobody knows except for the Pentagon.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah.
will ever know except for the Pentagon. You won't know a darn thing. You know why? Because I don't talk about those people. You know what I
And
do? Respectfully, I wish them well. I say
right,
I wish them no ill will. I wish them no harm. I wish them all the best. And you
because
keep it moving.
we also realize that as humans, sometimes we don't like versions of people
Mm-hmm.
because they've got a lot going on too and they're projecting back onto you.
Right, right.
So you just
Yeah,
I'm not saying you have to like people. You don't have to do that.
yeah.
But time, with your loved ones, family time.
It's so important.
I have a million other things I can be doing
Yeah,
besides talking about somebody who is irrelevant to me.
right. But then you mentioned a good point though. You could be spending that time with your family or doing something that's
Right,
of value,
right.
making
Or
memories that you literally you can't get back. You got to hold on to those times, right? So I know for me, if people waste my time, I I'm like so aggressive in a sense where I will get up. I will literally get up and leave the situation. Or I will say, okay, can we redirect focus on A, B, and C? Because if we can't redirect focus, I do not need to be here. I just say it now. I'm like, I could be with my kids. There's plenty of other things I could be doing
facts.
right now.
A
You know
million
what I mean?
percent.
And I don't know if it's just that mentality comes with age. I don't know what it is, because I also don't want to be crotchety, but I
Oh, I'm
value our
getting there.
time.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
getting
You know what I
there.
mean? But I value our time. I do. I value my time. And we know that time is fleeting, right? Nobody ever knows how much of it that you have left. So why waste whatever time you may have when you could be doing something you love, something that's productive, something that's constructive, or better yet, resting.
Now, the other thing is, I'll
You could
say,
be resting.
if you see me in the big Y and we're catching up and, this or that, that to me is not time wasted because I've had some of my most valuable conversations when people want to talk about life or they want to talk about, things that, matter. Or maybe you knew them from your childhood or you're just catching up or
Mm,
that they are going through some shit
mm.
and they could use
They
a
could use a
they
friend.
could use a person to talk to. Never time wasted. Literally never. Literally never. Um, but yeah, time is valuable there, and we don't even know really how much we have. So I want to hang out with people. I want to make change. I don't know what I want my legacy to be yet, but if it's just say for instance, this isn't my legacy, but I enjoy this passion project, which is the podcast.
Mm,
To me, I'm passionate about it.
for sure.
To me, I see how many people we touch.
For sure.
I see how many people listen.
Yeah.
And that's why we get up at the ass crack of dawn
To make sure
to
we get it done and take it
podcast
seriously. Yeah.
and to give that content. The people that we have coming on here, the guest speakers, we're going to learn so much. That's why we're bringing them on about stuff that we're passionate about.
Of course.
And to me,
Of
it's like,
course.
okay,
Things that we
now
feel
we're
can help
cooking.
people. Yeah.
Right.
Things that can help others too.
Right.
Yeah. That's definitely for sure. I think that this is a huge topic, and it's a great one because it's come up. It's definitely come up a couple of times. I
Look at
also
successful people.
mm,
Look at successful people in your life. And success is in all standards and forms, of course, but like I can name a few even here in town.
for sure.
People that I know that do things that you don't always know about.
Yep.
But
It stays very quiet. Yep.
Literally visionaries.
They are. They are.
That can see beyond that.
Yeah.
That are doing things behind the scenes, and sometimes they're even quieter than you might realize.
They are.
But
I like to ask those people questions a lot of the time about their insight on things. Like some of these people. You know why? Because I always want to pick their brain, or there might be a thought or something that I truly don't understand from a certain perspective or whatever. And it's always very eye opening when you have these conversations with these people that are visionaries or of high value or whatever the case is. You end up learning quite a bit, or you end up learning things that you never even knew.
Yeah. And when you talk about like visionaries, I even talk about that YouTube show that we used to have years back now, where we did interviews with Mr. Dutton about the history of town.
I
Now,
loved that.
tell me how that's the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You're
loved
surrounding
that.
yourself, you're learning something, you're expanding your mind from somebody who was truly greatness when it came to
For sure.
history, both in town and world, and
well respected.
well respected.
Well respected.
So that's the stuff I'm talking about. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, it's like just because you're not talking to the president of the United States, there are many people that are visionaries in their own right in what they do, what they're passionate about.
1,000%. There was another part of this that we were going to segue into with this discussion. So the topic is surrounding yourself with people of high value, and it doesn't matter what people think of you, it ain't your problem. And I had added that on there because some of these people that we have spoken to, I know that I've had a couple of conversations about asking why they don't respond or why they don't react to certain things. And I remember one in particular telling me, what is it going to do to make life better? What is it going to do to make life for others better? What is it going to do to make my life better? And I was like, holy smokes. Holy smokes. It doesn't matter what people think about you. It ain't your problem.
People pass opinions on others and they don't realize that sometimes those weigh heavy on a person. And when you talk about higher beings and all of this, I had a thought here.
It doesn't matter what people think about you. It ain't your problem.
Right. Sometimes people will tell you that your ideas are stupid. Sometimes people will tell you that you're foolish, that your passion projects are stupid, that what you're doing is a waste of time. You cannot listen to what surrounds you.
For sure.
At all. What people say and people do, you cannot give two fucks. It's not your business what they say about you.
It's not your business. So Matthew had posted on his story one day. So he gets a lot of comments. There's a lot of influencers that reach out to him. A lot of he's had celebrity reactions or interactions, both actually, and he's had people that have worked for celebrities reach out because of the brand, his project, da da da. his story yesterday, which is really interesting that we're doing this podcast topic today because these topics we work on over like weeks, we add to them. His story said, sometimes your biggest supporters, he didn't say fans, and I liked that because there's a difference between fans and supporters. Your biggest supporters, a lot of the time, end up being people you don't even know.
Facts.
Not always. We have some ride or dies from
Oh,
A1s from day ones
oh,
that are
for sure,
supporters,
for sure.
but sometimes some of the biggest supporters end up being people you don't even know.
You don't know. And I think what I love about this community is, we share podcast clips on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. We get to interact with people who are fans of ours on a more intimate level.
Yes.
And then we also get to kind of bring that back to a new podcast episode. So it kind of goes in round robin, this idea of how we communicate with our fans. But I love it. And I love that people listen. And I love that we're part of people's day.
Absolutely.
If people had a shitty day and they're on their way home, they're listening to us instead of listening to their music. They're putting on the podcast, or they're listening to us on the way to work because they love it, or they love the way we dance, or all these things.
Or they love the clips.
They love the clips.
I love hearing and reading the comments about things. It's very touching.
It is beautiful.
It is.
And so to me, it's like that is it right there. That's the whole reason, at least for me, that I enjoy doing the podcast. I know that there's an audience, and we know it's like everywhere, and it's crazy, but people love the podcast.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make it when you're authentic.
I think that's exactly what it is. You hit the nail on the head. It's when you're authentic.
This is
when
a
you're authentic,
no-brainer
just
for
being
us.
yourself. Yep.
Right. I mean, we had an episode earlier, of course, and I thank God above. Thank you, G. I think he was like, dude, don't post this. But to be fair, I mean, this is a judgment-free zone. I was talking to Shaba about I felt why I think it's strange that poop pics aren't sent more often between groups and people, especially when you have a poop that you're like, wow, I'm mildly impressed by that. Now, see how we're talking about it here quickly, and I'm so sorry I just went off to poop. I don't like, but like we are sometimes very immature.
We are.
And so because we're immature, we talk about things that that
people would be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, younger people talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was bizarre, but you didn't judge me for that. Now, we're bringing things that are authentic. These are things that I'm really thinking about. Like, seriously, why people will send nudes, they'll send all types of shit, but you won't send like, oh, look at, I just dumped this 13-incher in the toilet. Hashtag beast.
Beast mode.
Beast mode.
Oh man.
But I love this. I love this. And I'm going to tell you something else. I have in my life been so blessed to be with some incredible visionary people. And I soaked that shit in. I do think that is because I was raised by older parents. I was raised by older people. My childhood, I wasn't an only child, but I might as well have been because of such the age gap. So I was around mature people my entire life. And I think that shows in who I want to hang out with on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
If there's a lack of maturity there, we all know that I'm immature. I'm getting in your cars when you leave them unlocked. You know, we're making dance videos.
Yeah.
Somebody, but there's a different level of immaturity that I can't deal with. So if you're not to my maturity level either, as much as I do seem immature, I can promise you off this, I am a little bit more mature than it comes across. But you put me with an immature person, emotionally, I suppose, or thought-wise immature.
Yep.
We don't vibe.
For sure. And I go quiet.
We don't vibe.
I go quiet. If it's a situation that I can't remove myself out of at that given time, I just go quiet.
And that's not the other thing I'll say too is like this is not me saying that visionaries have to be people that are already well established, have a lot of money, are successful in your eyes.
Right.
No, no, no.
Money has
The
nothing to do with it. Right.
Absolutely not. These are
Right.
also the people. This is also the guy that has a family at home. He has a full time job, but on the side, he loves to cut trees. So he's starting his own business and taking clients on the side and growing that and figure. That's the shit I'm talking about. That is visionary to me, and that's who I want to be surrounded as people
A
who are
thousand
driven by pushing.
percent. 1,000%. People that can see the bigger picture of it all.
And
Yeah.
I don't do
And
well with
strive for
lazy
that.
people. It
Yep.
You want to talk about me
Yep.
getting very, very irritated quickly with anyone? It's let me find even a hint in you that you have a little bit of laziness to you. I'm not wired like that. I can
Yeah.
already tell you if you are lazy, I'm not lazy. I haven't gotten up at 10 a.m. Like when I hear sometimes when I hear that. And this is not for everybody in my life. Let me also phrase
And
this.
we understand that people work different hours too.
This
This
is
is just a
you know
general
this is a
scenario.
right. I feel like we have to say that because we're in such a cancel culture,
We are, yeah, so we gotta be careful.
and there's people that
We'll just say it like this: somebody who works a typical 8 to 5. We'll say 8 to 5. 8 to 5. And that's what they do. They have their job. No other responsibilities. They don't have a family they have to take care of.
and I'm just talking about people, people,
Yeah.
yeah, they just people who just don't give it their all, or they are
Yeah.
lackluster in drive
Or
and
always
focus, and
complaining, or
yeah.
woe is
Oh,
me.
the always complaining,
Woe is
the
me.
victim
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
I have to give you a there's been a couple instances you were mentioning how you're afraid that you're starting to get more blunt, as am I.
Yeah.
I'm noticing now that and I'll give you the example. Had a customer, we delivered some material. The material, some of it was broken upon arrival. Woman calls me and we're on the phone, and I said to her, good morning, blah blah blah. How many pieces got broken? Right? So instead of like just getting here, she wants to tell me about, what she thinks went wrong. Um, she wanted to go through how we packaged the material, this, that, the other thing. And I said to her, I said, so and so, I said, I am a fixer. I said, so we can sit here for 15 minutes and talk about why we think this small amount of material got damaged, or
We can
I
do something
can
about it.
I can quickly, before we miss the UPS guy,
Smart.
I can get it out today if you
Smart.
tell me how many pieces got broken and what I need to send out right now to make sure your project doesn't get delayed. And that's the shit that I
Facts.
don't want to sit there and dwell on things. I want to fix them
And
and move
or find a
on,
solution. Yep.
or find a solution and move on. Sometimes women love to nitpick and dissect, and we do too when it comes to more
For sure.
personal
For sure. For sure.
things.
For sure. Yeah.
But when it's at work or this or that,
Yep.
I'm not doing small talk where we're
Yep.
talking
What's the
about stuff.
solution?
What are we doing?
What's the game plan?
Because I have things I got to do.
Yep.
And it's not to take away from you, but it's sure we can do this and we can circle the drain, or we can just get to what we need to get done.
Right.
And then and it was funny too, like I'll give you another example. The other day, gentleman comes in and he has some leftover material. Now he comes in front of me. I can feel his energy. I don't even have to look up. My eyes, when you learn to read energy, you realize I don't even have to look up. I can tell there's somebody in front of me who's got an antsy, agitated personality in front of me. So I'm on the computer and finally I make contact with him. Now, mind you, I can see him reading the sign above me that says 30-day return policy from purchase date, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So he comes up to me and he says, "Hi, I'd like to make a return." Okay, no problem. Great. And his material was purchased in November. It's March 1st. Now, we're a small business, so you always try to go above and beyond. And if I had the ability to in this particular instance, I would have. So I told the gentleman, I said, I'm sorry. I said, there's a couple things as to why I can't take back the material. First and foremost, we're on, we can't take this back because we have a new lot coming in of the material. The second reason being too is, it is well beyond the 30 days,
I mean, for sure.
you
It's
know,
4 months later.
right.
Yeah.
And these are things that, we say all the time to ensure that people totally understand, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to take a return. We don't. So we want to make sure you're happy too. We don't want you to leave dissatisfied, right? So I said that to him. He was so upset. He was so upset. Like I could tell his jaw had locked up to the point where he was pissed, right? And he also had one item on there that was a smaller amount item. And so needless to say, I said, you know what? Instead of us, I can tell that we're not gonna, because he thought maybe I would, whatever. We're not getting along here. I had to get another person involved, change of face. That's common, and it smoothed over. Um, I don't know. It's just whack. It's just I don't know why I had to tell you that story, but it's just why did I tell you that story?
I don't know, buddy.
Yeah. I think it just had to do
Finding the
I think it
solution
just had to
to the
do
problem.
I think it had to do with energy. I think it had to do with people just pushing you and whack energy. Whack energy. Let's find a solution, and also do not lie. Do not lie.
Hmm.
When you are angry, do not lie and put it on somebody else. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that you were never told.
Deflecting.
Don't deflect,
Mm-hmm.
because that's so trashy. Don't do that, because then you're accusing somebody else of lying. That's not right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think another thing too is like people just need to be accountable for their energy. That's another thing as well. Some people's energy, you mentioned something when you talk about people, when you go in hard, when you do these things, your vibration is low. It's just low. These are not things that are going to raise your vibration at all. But doing good, again, being surrounding yourself with people who want to grow with you, who want to grow in different aspects, I think is hugely important.
I think it's also, just to piggyback off what you're saying, I think it's also important to accept when people are not willing to do that, and knowing what you have to do for next steps too. Because it's all right for people not to want to grow with you. It's okay for people not to see the same vision as you do. But when you accept that and respect that, these people's feelings are also valid, you also have to understand that you are going to pivot in a different direction that they maybe will not be following. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
And it's
so,
not that you think that they should be following what you're
correct,
doing.
but you accept things
Just
for,
honor what I'm doing.
yeah, you accept things for what they are, and you just got to keep it moving. I think it's, there's a lot of times when it comes to history or time known, time known somebody, or whatever the history may be, in any aspect. It could be friendships, relationships, acquaintanceships, situationships, whatever.
A lot
I
of ships.
Huh?
A lot of ships, girl.
A lot of ships, bro.
Nina Pinta, Santa
In the
Maria.
Santa Maria. um I think that, in any kind of ship, that, you gotta accept things for what they are. But I think that also whenever there's history or there's time invested,
Hold your tongue with take your two fingers here. Take your tongue. Hold it. And say ship.
ship,
Hold it, like really hold your tongue. Not the tip, stupid.
ship,
She should hold it, and
ship.
it would sound like you're saying shit, not.
But
You can be immature and still be a visionary. This immaturity you can be. It's okay.
I mean, it's okay. But what I was saying to wrap up, I don't even know what we're at for time on this one. But when it comes to
stand by your man,
time invested or time that you have known people or whatever the case is, you got to accept that sometimes people are not going to be on the journey with you.
Right.
And that's okay. And they shouldn't feel that you need to be on the same journey with them.
100%.
Or stagnant if they're stagnant.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And, I love watching a lot of people. We watch TikTok, you watch day in the lives, you watch point of views from all different lives. I love people who also aren't necessarily visionary. They're not trying to do anything. They just love their simple life. They to me, I think it's the most beautiful thing ever because you can tell that their cup is filled, that they are fulfilled.
They're just living life.
That's very important in all this.
Yep.
Like your passion projects, your things, they've got to fill the cup too.
Yeah, you got to fill the cupeth.
But I'll tell you what, I'm honored to fill my cupeth with this passion project on Jody Boulevard every day with you.
I am too, buddy. The feeling is truly mutual.
Yeah.
On Jody Boulevard. Two talking
over
fools.
There on your side of the your lamp there, she's got some socks on, and so do you. Yo.
Gotta keep these tootsies warm.
Look at these, bro. What are we dealing with right now?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, this was a good episode.
It was awesome.
We only forgot where we were a few times in it, which is
it comes
good
with the territory.
These 40-year-old, I won't say no, just 40-year-old homies.
Yeah, 39. But yep.
I'm close enough.
I'm trying to hold on to the last few months.
On to the next one?
On to the next one.
Peace, y'all. Bum, 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 bum.